Welcome to Recouped the podcast, where we uncover the depths of sustainability and its impact on the world.
We're your hosts, Vicky
and Michelle.
And together we'll explore what it means to live more sustainably. So, we're talking about modes of transportation today. Mm-hmm. If you had to guess... Well, wait. Which mode of transportation, I'm going to let you choose, has the least amount of carbon emissions between the two?
Okay.
An electric scooter or a horse?
Well, I would hope that it's
the least amount.
The least amount of carbon emissions?
Yeah.
I would hope that it's a horse. But
So
it also needs fuel, and it also gives off gas.
So real world, scooters are actually the least amount at I think it was 8.
Well, this is really good news for you.
I know. I've been daydreaming for a scooter. I ask for
always
one every single market that we do.
And I always envision you on a scooter getting speed wobble, crashing through the market with your baguette in a basket or something. Where are the brakes?
I'm going through.
I know, because it is your dream.
It is my dream.
Your hair blowing in the wind.
Yeah, right? With a recouped bag with all of our market stuff in it. So an electric scooter, though, is, it was 8 grams of CO2 carbon emission. But a horse is 135 grams of carbon emission.
Because they're just shitting and farting.
And eating a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, they eat a lot. And I learned that from, I think it was Colorado State University
So if we look
website.
at a timeline of 1856 to 2056, the carbon emissions haven't changed much.
No. You know what? You're 100% correct.
They were pretty bad back then. All these greenhouse gases include horse shit.
All the horses and the donkeys and the
It makes
mules.
sense because agriculture isn't sustainable right now.
Yeah.
With farming meat, red meat, cows.
Yeah, cows.
Produce a lot of methane.
Wait, what was the number I got for cows? It was a big number.
It was a lot.
It was in 1,000.
One cow produces so much.
Yeah, I think it was one serving. Okay, y'all, this is just
one serving.
Trying
of beef.
to remember, one serving of beef for somebody was I think in the thousands. Did I say thousands when I talked about it earlier?
All said and done, once the cow's
Yes.
born.
Yes, to once the cow gets on your dinner plate,
Butchered, put through a process, and it
was 6,000 CO2 emissions. Mm-hmm. Oh, that was really interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Do you ride on your moped?
I would if it ran.
I have a moped too, and
It's not working either. We just need to get them fixed up.
Yeah.
We're recouped. We can fix them.
We can. We just
figure it out.
Need more time.
But also, riding your bike to work, I guess I don't know the numbers. There are so many numbers in this research. But riding your bike to work, once a week.
Yeah.
If you go to work 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Eliminates so much from your carbon footprint.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good.
Because I remember, health for heart or heart health talk and awareness.
Yeah.
In high school and stuff like that was always walking to school, walking to work. Eliminates or puts 20 years on your life or something. I don't know. But
I know about fart walks.
Fart walks, yeah.
Do you guys know about fart walks?
And you're just polluting the world
with your own CO2 emissions.
Trying to get how many emissions? If you go measure my house, it is off the Richter scale.
It probably is more than the one horse.
Is farting is a way of communication over there with all these boys.
Oh shit.
But that said, everything's being trapped in this big hot bubble.
Oh my gosh, your house is one hot big bubble of CO2.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Burning a hole right into the atmosphere.
Yep, there you go.
But with that said, transportation, getting from one place to the next.
Yes.
There are so many, I guess.
There's so many modes of it.
Modes.
And besides walking, And if you don't fart,
yeah, it's the best. Yeah,
it's gonna be the best. Yeah, but it's like what? There's like cars, trains, planes,
boats,
horses,
yeah,
mopeds, scooters, electric,
Yes.
or electric
Gas.
vehicles, gas vehicles, hybrid vehicles.
or what was that other, the new
Hydro
oh gosh,
hydroelect oh my gosh, what is the word? Hydroelectrolysis.
Yeah.
Hydro Michelle's going to tell you something that we learned, but apparently we can't tell you the name. But it's like hydroelectrolysis or hydro. Okay, I'm going to stop saying it. But what was it that we learned? What was it that we learned about this mode of transportation? And I'm going to look up the word. What did you learn about this mode of transportation?
Well, because I was looking through this new Senate bill that has just passed, because recently we were at a market in our town, and this bill has just passed on. The title is an act relating to supporting Washington's clean energy economy and transitioning to a clean, affordable, and reliable energy future. So it's an energy bill. Mm-hmm. And it was like causing a lot of controversy because people are like, no, we need natural gas. But PSC is going to be kind of monitored now. And there's a bunch of things. I think a lot of people were scared, but once you read through the bill, it's not that scary. Mm-hmm. But I think these types of bills, if anything, they help enact like new policies that are going to be put into place for like further down the road, like gas companies and any fuel companies out there, like what they can and can't do. So it's not really affecting us too much, but it'll be affecting like bigger corporations. And so like getting goals set by like the year 2040, you have to have certain green initiatives in the plan. So
got it.
So this bill like is pretty great, but this one type of fuel.
So it is the other word we found, but the other word that I kept saying 5 million times just now, it is electrolysis.
Yeah.
Electrolysis. How do I say that word? Electrolysis. Electrolysis. Anyhow, what it is,
Electrolytic,
whatever this word is, it is, I'm learning this from the energy.gov. Electrolysis is a promising option for carbon-free hydrogen production from renewable and nuclear resources. So, the longest story short, it is a process of using electricity to split water into hydrogen and to oxygen. Mm-hmm. And it basically can be created for
so it's clean.
Yeah, it's clean. It's a clean way to run a bus.
So, like addendums to this bill, the committee for this bill, the Environment, Energy, and Technology Committee, is actively working on this form, getting this implemented. And I think Washington's very progressive as far as this stuff goes.
Yeah.
Which is another divide here, obviously. But we're kind of just interested in the pros and cons of all of these things, because there is no complete, perfect solution, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, unless, no, you're right. Because people have to travel for work and school and... period. Traveling, period. And then, of course, there's all these cool new technologies out there, like electric vehicles, hybrid vehicles. And then, of course, we have our gas, vehicles and stuff. But there's a caveat to every single seemingly healthy or better option, right?
Yeah. Exactly. So just like we've said, in all of these things that are sustainable trends, they aren't really sustainable, because it's like all these things like happen and it's like they get pushed through the door and all of a sudden it's full speed Shark Tank moment of like taking on this huge trend. And then it's always too late by the time they figure out how bad it is.
Yeah. So like I mean, for example, okay, cool. We have electric cars. Mm-hmm. So cool. You plug it in and my car is ready to go.
For at least like hopefully like 200 miles of full charge.
Yeah. But then like when you think about it, what was it that we looked into? It was like lithium ion is a mineral that is used.
Has to be mined.
That has to be mined. That's used
which
to
is
make
kind of
the
a
battery.
red flag.
That has to be used for the battery to run, and it's mined somewhere in South America, right? Most of it, the lithium ion mines are in South America, and what we've learned is to mine those, it messes with.
But mining it just in general, there are like big environmental impacts that are happening that aren't good.
Yeah, it messes with the water.
I guess it's like on the scale of which is worse, you know. Are these things even brought into consideration? I don't know.
Yes.
But lithium ion is.
This is from SeattleTransitBlog.com. Electric vehicle batteries require mining for rare metals around the world. And even if we can switch to green energy production, the heavier electric vehicles still generate toxic emissions from lubricants, tires, brakes. Oh, that wasn't exactly what I was going for. And some of these other more traditional cars. So there's another caveat to how an electric car maybe isn't always the best, but going to the battery part of it, everything that goes with mining the material is like.
And are there endless resources here?
Yeah.
Of lithium. I don't know. Is there? I don't know.
Oh,
is it a renewable?
I don't know. We have to look into that.
We just do know that the end of a life for this lithium ion battery, if it just ends up in the landfill, because we don't really have the proper disposal utilities yet, right?
Yeah.
It's like really, really bad.
It is really, really bad.
It's gross. And I guess just in the Pacific Northwest, there's been like a lot of fires, landfill fires from lithium ion. And they burn forever. They're like impossible
You know
to
what?
put out.
You're right. You're right. You know what? I have this solution. The Flintstones
Investors,
car.
if you're listening.
Investors,
if you're listening. Get ready for this one.
I just said a Flintstones car.
You might want to take it from the top again.
That's where we need to start. All the way from the beginning.
Yes. We need to get really hardened feet.
Yes.
We shouldn't even be wearing shoes.
Nope, not ever again.
We're going to take it back in evolution to the Flintstone car.
Yeah. We'll make a recouped Flintstone car.
But if we have to wait, like, because I also felt like I had a solution when we need to make, because when I was looking at these numbers, shipping on the transportation of the world emissions, shipping is a big one in transportation.
Oh.
Like actually airlines, like aviation wasn't that big of a spot on the scale. Daily driving, like consumer driving is bad. That takes up majority of this number, but shipping was another big number. So I was thinking when you order a package, and so I was thinking everything that involves shipping, why don't we just start making that green?
That would be pretty cool.
Like by the year something, all trucks that are driving could just have solar power batteries that are running. You could just, because they're outside all the time. They're just charging as they go.
You're right.
Come on, Elon.
He'll think of it. He's too worried about getting to the moon.
To Mars.
Is it to Mars or the moon?
Playing with toys.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, don't come after us or anything. If you want to drop a bag of money
he wants to colonize Mars. We're not about that life.
Do you know anybody that has an electric vehicle?
Yeah.
You do?
Mm-hmm. And I know hybrid, and I know... So, my friend has a hybrid. That's pretty cool, a Volvo. And to get to work, it's about... I think it's less than 20 miles. It does energy. But then when she starts driving over that 20-mile mark from, home base, I think...
Yeah.
It switches to hybrid... Or to gas.
To gas. Okay, so she has a hybrid.
So she's like, oh yeah. Yeah. So when she drives to work and back every day, she's within the electric range. So it's pretty cool. Because then she doesn't have to worry. She's like, and then I could just take a longer trip if I needed to.
Yeah.
I think that would be I think doing a hybrid first would be
The way to
the
go.
best because, and then my friend who does drive a full electric solar Tesla, she does have to stop and charge. So like coming to visit us over at our recreation property, like over in Lake Chelan, she had to stop and charge several times. So she, it like caused some delays.
Yeah, and that's kind of like not fun.
Yeah, it's not when you have to plan your trip around charging stations.
Yeah. Because
Which they're very accessible now in a lot of places, but it would be one of those things I wouldn't like to have like that worry.
I wouldn't want to have that worry. And like, to be honest, like driving from where we are to the east side, like even to Chelan, that's only like 3 hours. Like that makes it kind of difficult.
So making decisions like to just do little trips here and there might.
Well, yeah, because
it could be like a determined like
it is because on the west side where we are, or sorry, in Seattle area, it's easy to find those electric charging stations. Like I'm thinking about just up the road from us and down the road. Yeah, there are mostly in places that are easy, but if you're driving to the east side,
I think like Leavenworth,
it's like a little more rural, so you have to really.
So you would have to plan it out. Like if you're like, I have to leave work, like you couldn't just on a whim, No,
you're right.
Which could be some sort of constriction, which is, I mean, that's fine when we have to start making these types of restrictions on some of these liberties that we have to make the world a little bit more sustainable. So that's fine. But if it's like, I can't go because I don't want to have to look into all that charging or something, it could be one of those things that.
Well, hopefully you would do all that research. Like, what is your lifestyle? What?
Yeah.
Do you travel?
I would probably start with a hybrid.
Yeah.
To get used to it. But that also comes into play, like, sustainable, like, finances.
Yeah.
So is it, like financially sustainable or responsible to buy, like, a new car?
Yeah.
Every time they come out with something new and
it's
better.
Not.
It's not.
It's not.
Because Dave Ramsey, Mr. Dave, financial guru of the world,
what does Dave Ramsey say?
The number one mistake people make is buying a new car. It sets you off because they do not gain any sort of equity.
Yeah, and they depreciate as soon as you take them off the lot.
Yeah, and they're very expensive.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And when it is just a mode of transportation, when you think of it that way.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
because I don't like to have car payments. To me, that's sustainable.
Me too.
So once my car's paid off, I'm going to drive it until it dies.
I'm going to drive mine until it dies. You remember how I told Raylan that he might get mine, and I lie.
Yeah, you're like, it's not.
It's going to be mine forever.
But in that regard, so I guess we do drive every day, but we're not doing huge commutes every day to work, like down to Seattle. So those, I feel bad for the people who have to like sit in traffic every day for over an hour there and over an hour back. That's hard. But an idling car, I think, is probably the worst.
Yeah.
So like public transportation for people who have to sit in traffic regularly would probably be the best.
Yeah.
So I have some numbers here of like the health impact of public transportation. Like even just your life is better using public transportation because it's safer than a car. There's like less casualties.
Oh,
if you
like
ride the city bus every day,
like that? Okay.
Like you're less likely to get in an accident.
Okay.
And die.
Okay.
And then on average, you walk a lot more when you do public transportation. So like at least 20 minutes more a day, which is your daily.
That's what they recommend.
Intake of good heart health.
Yes.
Is 20 minutes. So you are getting.
You're getting your exercise in technically.
And then the cost effectiveness. And then in our state, Washington, this bill just passed, but other bills have passed in the past on clean transportation, public transportation. So they're working on it. Like if you take public transportation around here, chances are you're going to be doing good on your emissions report in life. Yeah. So those are good key. I guess it's just hard to, again, find that balance in the bus schedule. If you've got kids, if you work really far, like if you have to get off and on buses. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because I remember talking to somebody who got a new job, tried doing public transit, but then realized when they got off of work, the area that they had to catch the bus
Was not good.
Was not good. It was dangerous. It was very highly uncomfortable. And she was like, I can't.
And, yeah.
Like, I just, it.
Another aspect of being a woman.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. And it was just like one of those, like, I just can't do it. I didn't feel comfortable. If there was someone else, maybe like buddy system, but no one was living, you know, it just wasn't feasible for that to work.
And there are a lot of like carpool options too. I know a lot of people do carpool to work, which is great and smart. But speaking of like idling in traffic during the pandemic.
Oh, yes.
So, which is like, obviously, do you remember when they took pictures of like what downtown Seattle and the freeway looked like?
Or even what
during
down like LA,
like during
the
rush
freeways in
hour, normally
California.
rush hour traffic, it was like dead.
Dead. Yes.
Which kind of gives you that little like sparkle of, I mean, that was like a good, something good in this horrible time. But during the pandemic, between January and April of 2020, daily emissions decreased 8.6 compared to the previous year. And overall, it was like 17% in the year.
Whoa.
It was crazy.
That's big.
Like, how much it jumped down.
Too bad.
Like it went down to like like years and years, like decades.
Yeah.
It hasn't been that good.
Too bad it can't be like that didn't stick.
But that was
in a
one of
way.
the things that like, I don't know if it like what's happening now. I guess everything, if it's one thing, then if it's not one thing, it's another.
Yeah,
like, you know
yeah.
that, so like people working from home
Yes.
really made a big difference. But then
But now
what are they doing now? Like,
But people are being asked to come back to work, right? So now they're on the road. Now kids are going back to have gone back to school. So now there's
yeah.
you know, transportation, and that way kids are going to school, and now people are traveling like for leisure, and so I guess we just try to get back to our life. But
Yeah, because like during COVID, like I wonder how much stuff in medical facilities was being produced, mass quantities of. That's probably pretty environmentally unfriendly.
Yeah.
But so there's, you know, obviously still an imbalanced scale, but since we hit all the aspects of that sustainable triangle, the financial, like what works, I guess probably public transportation would be cheaper than driving your own car.
yeah, I think so.
But as far as like gas or electric cars, if you're going to go buy one, like when electric cars came out, they were not affordable.
no, but they're becoming more
But they are.
popular and more common. And now there's enough competition out there.
Just in 2023, electric cars had dropped down $14,000 on average from the previous year. And it's still going down. So
14,000 or 1,400?
14,000.
1 comma.
Yeah, like
Holy
a new
smokes,
one.
That's huge.
Yeah, it was a huge drop
That is a huge drop
for a new electric
in a year.
vehicle. Mm-hmm. They were on average $14,000 cheaper for a new one.
Wow,
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
that's huge. That's
So
huge.
I mean, even just buying a new car from one
know.
year to the next isn't sustainable. But like, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I guess that it gives us hope. And it says, so it also says, because what we would think, you know, they're so much more expensive and all this stuff, it said that on average, an electric car costs about $2,800 more than a gas car. Like if you're going in for like
Okay.
the same safety ratings, the same year or what. So it's getting closer to an attainable.
Yeah, but if it's only $2,800 more than a gas car, we already pay $2,800
In gas.
a year. Or like, I
Yeah.
mean, who knows? Depending on
Yeah,
what kind
and
of
that's
vehicle
what
you
I was
have.
looking up too. So in 2018, on average, you would spend about $1,100 for gas. That is definitely not here. On like gassing up your car.
Yeah.
And then and then
The
electric cars, $485. So you are saving money in the long run.
in the long run, but up front, it is going to be a little bit more. But that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
you're paying for this technology that's going
And you also get a federal tax credit offer.
You
of
do?
up to like $7,500 when you go buy a new car or new electric car. And there's more like tax breaks that you get at dealerships now. They're being offered.
Oh,
Yeah. I was reading like more and more.
that's...
It's becoming more attainable because there are, I think, going to be bills that are passing in these more like in our more progressive areas, like that will incentivize like people getting electric cars.
Dang. I mean, I think, okay, I think that's great.
Yeah.
Let's to end this thing about all these modes of transportation. Daydream. What is your next? I think you said.
Oh my gosh. I love the Rivians.
I know, me too.
But then I love is it a hybrid?
I think it's a hybrid or
cool mom car that's a hybrid would be mine.
Yeah. I thought to be cool to compete
Rivian
with
is so
Zach
cool.
would be the Rivian to compete trucks, you know? Because he's got a truck, but my truck's gonna be cooler because it's hybrid or electric or something.
There was a Rivian driving down behind me one time, and I thought I was going to be blind because its headlights were so bright.
Yeah, that's gonna be me. I'm gonna be one of those.
Over.
Yeah, I got
It's all electric. Yeah.
Well, all in all, sustainability wise, if it's sustainable to keep your current car, keep your current car. When it comes down to getting something new down the road,
Yeah.
if an electric car is not in your future, maybe an electric scooter is.
Mm-hmm. And
Or
then
a
investors, if you want to talk more about
Our fun
my
stump
idea
car.
for this, let me know. I've got a lot of good ideas on this solar shipping.
Yeah. I think that's a really good idea.
And Rivian, whoever makes you, if you want to sponsor us, we
Oh
would
my
love
gosh,
a new
we would
car.
love that too. We would love that too. Otherwise, we encourage walking, even if you're taking a walk just once a trip, whatever that is, if it's possible, or bike,
Ride
or
a bike.
share your car with somebody when you can. We love that. We know not all areas can do it, but where you can, try it. Be thoughtful about what you're doing in the future, and just you know.
And try to buy, your next car from some company that's doing their due diligence in sustainability, I guess. You want to support those companies.
Yes, for sure. And until then, when you get a new car, keep listening to us in your current vehicles or whatever your mode of transportation is.
I hope we sound really good in it.
I hope we do too. So we want to thank you. Thank you for listening to Recouped. I'm Vicky.
And I'm Michelle. And you can check us out online at www.recoupeddpnw.com. And also there's a link down below for our tip jar. Any little bit helps the production of this show.
Yeah. And give us a rating.
What would you rate us on a scale of 1 to 5?
Like, how wonderful and hilarious are we? But if you like what you're hearing, please do give us a 5-star rating, leave a review, leave a comment, ask a question. We would love to hear from you. And like Michelle said, find us on our website, find us on Instagram. And until then, thank you for joining us. And remember to reuse,
reduce, and recoup. Or reduce, reuse, recoup.
I forget.
Just recoup it.
You just recoup. Until the next time, we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.